Good morning, everyone. Today I will be discussing the importance of understanding and communicating with people of all different types, which is essential for successful professional salespeople. This presentation will explore the psychological and sociological theories of human attitudes and behavior and their associated rules and models for explaining how and why people think and act. These theories provide a foundation for us as salespeople to become more effective in connecting with our audience and developing successful relationships with customers. Let's get started. Salespeople looking to be successful must have an understanding of different psychological and sociological theories, such as transactional analysis and social styles, in order to create a trustworthy environment with their customers. This knowledge also allows them to adapt their selling approach to meet the individual needs of their customers. By developing skills in the psychological aspects of sales, they can accurately identify a customer's objectives and provide them with the ideal solution for their needs. John asked Mary if it was an invitation for dinner, but the wording could lead to different interpretations depending on the context. This highlights the importance of understanding people's behavior and intentions. Harry and Wilma serve as a great example as it is unclear who was at fault in their argument. All of us strive to become successful professional salespeople. A key skill to accomplish this is the capacity to converse with and comprehend individuals of various types, to be able to form strong and reliable partnerships prior to we can effectively sell our product. To demonstrate this point, I want to share a story of Harry and Wilma. When Harry inquired Wilma to help search for his car keys, they wound up in a quarrel. The noteworthy part here is that the dispute wasn't because of an absence of comprehension, but instead on the grounds that they were both uncognizant of their own feelings and emotions. This is an illustration of how communication can be disturbed when we don't take the effort to understand our own emotions. In order to be successful professional salespeople and conversing with and comprehending individuals from all different backgrounds, it is key to first comprehend our own emotions and feelings. As professional salespeople, it is essential to be able to read a customer's mood in order to effectively handle any situation. When an angry customer arrives in a restaurant and finds that the order was not carried out correctly, it is important to react calmly and try to understand the customer's point of view. Instead of escalating the situation, sales associates should offer an apology and explain the situation. This not only shows professionalism, but it also helps to build a trusting relationship where the customer feels supported by the salesperson. Building relationships is essential for any successful professional salesperson. Trust and understanding each other's needs form the basis of these relationships. To do this effectively, salespeople must be adept at accurately communicating and understanding people of diverse backgrounds. Luke's father was an excellent example of this because, when passing by a farm, he could make an assumption about how it was being managed based on his knowledge of farming and livestock, and whether the farmer was doing a good job or not. In the same way, successful salespeople must have a good understanding of people and the ability to communicate with and understand them in order to build relationships and, eventually, sell their product. Charlene was a highly successful salesperson, but a single call revealed that success in sales demands more than simply providing information. It was evident that Charlene had been unable to authentically communicate or comprehend Paul's needs. Forging a trusting partnership is paramount to success in sales, necessitating us to possess the psychological expertise to comprehend the customer's needs and adjust the sales pitch to their specifications. Being able to cope with a variety of consumers is a key part of being a successful salesperson. Understanding how and why people think, act, and interact is essential for professional salespeople. Drawing on influential psychological works such as Games People Play, by Eric Berne, I'm Okay, You're Okay, by Tom Harris, and Born to Win by Dorothy Jongward can provide a useful model of transactional analysis. This type of insight helps salespeople build trusting relationships with their customers, enabling them to more effectively communicate and sell their products to people of different types and backgrounds. Understanding the psychology behind building trusting relationships is essential for success as a professional salesperson. Eric Berne's concept that our brain is divided into 3 distinct parts, or ego states, can be a useful framework for analyzing such relationships. These 3 ego states, the parent, adult, and child, can help to determine our thoughts and actions, and act as a recorder for events and the associated feelings. By knowing how these ego states operate and interact with each other, a salesperson can build trust with a customer, and ultimately, make the sale. Understanding a customer's parent ego state can be vital in building trust and making a successful sale. This consists of those thoughts, feelings, and attitudes we have inherited from our parents and other parental figures, such as shoulds, oughts, always, nevers, and views on religion, dress, salespeople, traditions, work, money, and bringing up children. Some views can be nurturing or sympathetic, while others might be critical or judgmental. It is important for professional salespeople to be able to read people accurately in order to establish an appropriate connection and ultimately close the sale. Reading people is essential for salespersons who want to build strong relationships with their customers. The adult ego state seeks to analyze information objectively, facts and data, and make decisions based on logic and probabilities rather than emotion. This practice can help you gain an understanding of the needs and desires of your clients, and can help you close sales successfully. Understanding the child ego state is an essential part of professional salespeople's psychology. It encompasses our instinctive thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and behaviors that are reminiscent of those of a child. Such behaviors include impulsiveness, self-centeredness, anger, fear, pleasure-seeking, rebellion, happiness, curiosity, and a need to please. Knowing how the child ego state works can help salespeople form strong relationships with their clients, thus leading to an increase in sales. Knowing a customer's favorite ego state is an essential part of professional sales. It not only helps to create a trusting relationship, but also offers insight into the best way to talk to them. Generally, people have a favored ego state, which is represented in the diagram by the larger circle. This could be parent, adult, or child. Each of these states has its own unique attitude toward communication and understanding. Being conscious of the varied ego states and learning how to properly interact with them is essential for cultivating successful relationships. Communication is essential for success in any sales role, and having knowledge of the various types of communication is essential. People send and receive messages in various ways, such as complimentary, crossed and ulterior. It is not only the words spoken that are important, but also how they are said. Professional salespeople need good psychological know-how to discern different types of people, communication, and how they relate to one another. This can help generate trust and successful relationships with customers. Salespeople need to establish trust in order to successfully sell their product. This requires attention to the way they communicate, as intonation and emphasis can change the entire meaning of a sentence. For instance, "Why don't I take you to dinner tonight?" has different interpretations depending on where the emphasis is placed. Is the speaker offering to pay for dinner? Is the speaker asking the listener out? Is the speaker uncertain? If the speaker is misinterpreted, trust between the two parties will be broken, making it harder for the product to be sold. To be successfully, salespeople need to be able to read their customers and understand the meaning behind their words. This skill extends beyond the use of language. Our success as professional salespeople depends on our ability to build trust with our customers so they feel confident in investing in our products or services. This involves honing our interpersonal skills and learning to interact with all types of people. This could include having genuine conversations, exchanging complimentary transactions, and understanding how to read and respond to various communication cues. For instance, exchanging simple statements of fact such as, "What time do you have?" creates a polite yet natural environment which allows both parties to feel comfortable with each other and can lead to a successful long-term relationship. Salespeople require expertise in communication, trust and relationships to be successful, as the quote suggests. These skills can be used to create and maintain positive relationships, even in seemingly challenging circumstances. Moving on to the next slide, we can explore this further. In order to be successful professional salespeople, we need to have the ability to accurately communicate and understand people of all different types in order to build trusting relationships with our customers. However, sometimes our responses, interactions, and actions may be perceived as inappropriate or unexpected, which can lead to a breakdown in our communication and a lack of trust. For instance, if someone asks us what time it is, we should provide the answer rather than telling them to figure it out on their own. Therefore, it is our responsibility to understand how our behavior affects relationships and act accordingly. To be successful in sales, having a strong understanding of psychology is key. It is important to be able to pick up on unspoken nuances, particularly when dealing with potential customers. Such was the case in the example provided, wherein the salesperson was able to perceive why the client was late from their response. This in turn allows the two parties to form a reliable bond, helping to establish a more successful sale. Sales professionals must recognize the signs of ulterior transactions in order to create a reliable connection with the customer. An example of this is when a customer asks, "How about coming up to my room and listening to some music?" While on the surface it may appear to be a mere social request, the customer is likely asking for a sales pitch. It is up to the salesperson to comprehend the real goal and respond suitably. Being successful in professional sales requires a good understanding of psychology. It is not solely about knowing the product and understanding the customer's needs, but also forming trustful relationships and being able to communicate with all types of people. Adapting the selling strategy to each customer is a must, as a customer can present themselves as a parent, adult, or child. It is necessary to be complimentary in this communication exchange for selling, meaning, if a customer shows themselves as an adult, you should do the same. To form these relationships, it is beneficial to use strokes or positive interactions, be it verbal, physical, or in terms of a gift. The most efficient way of selling is adult-to-adult communication, which begins with listening carefully to the customer and responding accordingly. Being a successful salesperson requires having knowledge of oneself. It's not possible to control or dictate another person's behavior or thoughts. However, one can affect it by responding to them properly. It's also important to keep in mind the impact of expectations, and to have an accurate view of reality. Consequently, professional salespeople must be skilled communicators that can construct strong relationships with various types of people in order to successfully promote their product. Salespeople must be able to professionally interact with customers of different backgrounds in order to be successful. Keeping calm and not allowing emotions to interfere when dealing with challenging customers is essential. Taking a step back and viewing the situation objectively helps in such occasions. Furthermore, it is also important to remember that customers sometimes take out their frustrations on salespeople, even if they are providing good service, and that it can prove to be beneficial in the future. Sales professionals require an aptitude for understanding the indicators of a strong, dependable relationship. According to transactional analysis, when people feel easy and comprehend one another, details are negotiable. On the other hand, When pressure is elevated, details may act as roadblocks to achievement. To be successful, sales professionals must develop and maintain a trusting bond with their customers, yet also be aware of the significance of being adaptable when required. Customer satisfaction should always be a priority for salespeople. It is important to build trust with customers by recognizing that they are always right, even if they are not. Take the time to understand the customers and their needs, wants, so that you can provide them the best possible service and outcome. This will help ensure successful sales.